excuse me, but you were with the girl that you met through me. Is
Were
it
you
any
at
better?
odds with her?
Is that any better? Yeah.
but
If I hire you to
you
do a
were-
job and you come here and you going to see my man, yes, I'm in odds with you.
Darling.
Darling,
Darling.
what? Darling,
Hey,
what?
listen.
I've never cheated on you, ever.
The world was spinning quiet until the internet detonated like a bomb no one saw coming. A late-night hotel clip hit the web, shaking the Harris household from top to bottom. There he was, Clifford T.Y. Harris, posted up in a dim, luxury suite with Shekinah Anderson, the same woman everybody once thought was Tiny's right-hand sister. This wasn't some messy gossip thread or blurry rumor.
The video ain't really the issue. The video being posted up on social media is the issue. If someone would have sent her that video privately, she and I would have had one conversation about it, and it would have been over. Left and went and got a house somewhere else.
Because you started cheating. Yes, sir.
For those who don't understand, Tip had some infidelities with a girl who I hired, and that girl is one of the reasons why I got my own house.
I ain't intertwining my souls with no mother.
Hey, look, man, let me tell you
I ain't
something.
doing none of that. It's totally different from
Hey,
what
look.
you're doing.
Now you, They heard me say it. I said that. If I was on there, I said that.
Turn around, please. You did not.
Shekinah, you stopped them and I said the same. You asked me, do you think I'm happier that you asked me the question and I answered it? So why would you sit there and say that?
Because I am happy.
But why would you sit there and say that I ain't say
Because
that?
you didn't.
I think she's happy. Yes, I did.
It wasn't loud and clear.
Tammy. Yeah? Tell me what's going on out there. What's going on?
Nah, this was cold, clear evidence of betrayal that spread through TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram faster than a spark in dry grass. Exposed and tacked justice.
Intro. Who said that?
Let me ask you something. Somebody who know you for real, right? Who really know you?
Man, I'm gonna say you one of them.
Do you think I'm like from
What you got?
Hey,
It just put a lot of back and forth, a lot more strain on just what we had going on. Afraid of that, and it did put some strain on our relationship. If you see him, we was about to divorce here and there, and breaking up here and there.
For Tiny were trending before sunrise, and the world was in shock. Fans couldn't breathe, critics were heated, and loyal supporters straight up crushed. The footage spoke louder than any excuse ever could. Champagne bottles popping, curtains half closed, and right there in the middle, T.I. and Shekinah locked up in an embrace that wrecked his whole family-first image. The man who preached loyalty and respect had just gone viral for breaking every word of it.
Don't speak on it as if you know what you're talking about. Like, I know 100% that she slept with. How do you know that? Because you see me dancing? How does dancing on how do you know that? You don't know.
I ain't never studied.
Within hours, fans started remixing the clip with old videos of Tiny talking about love and trust. And that made the sting 10 times worse. What started as gossip turned into a digital hurricane, tearing apart a marriage and turning private pain into a worldwide spectacle. But Tiny wasn't about to disappear quietly. No way. Instead of hiding behind sad captions or fake smiles, she walked into that courthouse with her chin up and heartbreak written all over her face. She came swinging with what's now being called the betrayal lawsuit of the decade, a jaw-dropping $50 million case against both T.I. and Shekinah. The accusations? Emotional abuse, humiliation, and betrayal on a global scale. Reporters went wild. $50 million wasn't just a number. It was the cost of loyalty shattered right in front of the world. Her home was in ruins, her dignity dragged across the internet, and now the courtroom became her new stage. Cameras clicked non-stop as lawyers read out every accusation, but just when people thought it couldn't get messier. Boom! An anonymous insider dropped a secret diary, allegedly written by Shekinah herself. The pages bled with confession-like lines. Clifford promised me he'd leave Tiny. He told me we'd rule the industry together. Those words sliced through the courtroom like glass. Tiny collapsed, sobbing that they had destroyed her family, her peace, her everything. The meltdown was caught on camera, going viral within minutes. Millions felt her pain, crowning her not just as T.O.'s wife, but as the new face of heartbreak and betrayal, a woman the world suddenly wanted to protect, T. I wasn't about to sit back and let the internet write his downfall. His legal team came swinging with a bombshell of their own, claiming the footage was nothing but a setup. They said the whole scene was staged, and Shekinah had masterminded it for fame and clicks. The courtroom gasped. Was this betrayal real, or a twisted trap to ruin a man's name and cash in on chaos? But Shekinah wasn't taking that quietly. She stood up, fire in her eyes, shouting that T.I. was the real manipulator, the one who fed her dreams of love and a future, only to leave her holding the blame. Two women who once called each other sisters were now locked in a war of words, fighting not just for truth, but for dignity. And there in the middle sat T.I., the storm's center, watching his empire crumble in public view. Outside those courtroom walls, social media was brutal. Shekinah's Instagram turned into a battlefield, fans calling her Snake, Homewrecker, and worse. Memes had her face photoshopped into movie villains, while Tiny was turned into an internet hero. Murals popped up with slogans like, "Justice for Tiny," and "The Queen deserves better." Hearts broke across timelines as supporters cried for her, while critics dragged T.I. as the man who burned down his own kingdom. Then came the moment that broke everyone. Tiny leaving court, holding her daughter's hand, her voice trembling as she whispered through tears, "Look what your father did to us. Look how he destroyed our home." That clip froze the internet. Millions replayed it over and over, realizing this wasn't gossip anymore. It was a real-life family tragedy unraveling in front of the world. Endorsements vanished overnight, concerts were canceled, and furious fans gathered outside T.I.'s mansion demanding answers. Shekinah's reputation went up in flames, and Tiny, though shattered, became the woman the world rallied behind, a symbol of heartbreak, survival, and raw strength, just when everyone thought the chaos was cooling off. Boom! Tiny's legal team came out swinging with evidence that turned the courtroom into pure shock theater. No one saw it coming. Audio recordings of a man sounding exactly like T.I. whispering, "Just keep it quiet, Shekinah. Tiny can never know. If this gets out, everything I built is gone." The moment that tape played, the air got sucked right out of the room. Reporters scrambled for their phones, tweets flying in real time as Tiny covered her face, shaking with disbelief. It wasn't gossip anymore. It was betrayal on tape. And if that wasn't enough, the lawyers hit next with hotel receipts. Shekinah's name printed right beside T.Y.'s reservation. That was the nail in the coffin. Real documents, stamped and sealed, proving what everyone feared. By day 2, the courtroom didn't feel like court anymore. It was a stage of heartbreak and humiliation. Tiny's lawyers rolled out a hard drive stacked with hours of secret audio, and when the first clip played again, people froze in silence. That same chilling voice echoed through the speakers. "Just keep it quiet. Tiny can never know." The room erupted. Reporters nearly fell over trying to post the quote online. Within minutes, new hashtags flooded social media. Empire destroyed, Tiny vs T.I., Shekinah exposed. There was no going back. The betrayal was no longer an online rumor. It was digital proof, permanent and undeniable. When the final piece of evidence, those hotel records, hit the table, even the jury's faces told the story. This wasn't gossip anymore. It was truth carved in stone. This wasn't gossip cooked up by fans. This was betrayal carved in paperwork and ink. A full-blown paper trail tying Clifford T.I. Harris straight to his wife's closest friend. Tiny's lawyer turned to the jury, voice booming through the courtroom. This is not speculation. This is proof that Clifford Harris destroyed his wife's trust, humiliated her, and shattered their family in front of the entire world. Tiny, already trembling, broke down in her lawyer's arms as the courtroom erupted in stunned whispers. Meanwhile, T.I.'s defense team scrambled to twist the story, claiming the receipts were forged and that music industry enemies had planted fake evidence to destroy his legacy. The internet went wild with theories. Was this the biggest setup in hip-hop history? Or the coldest betrayal the culture had ever witnessed? Twitter threads lit up with debates, some defending T.Y. as a target of industry sabotage, others dragging him for betraying the woman who built beside him. And then, all eyes turned to Shekinah as she took the stand. Shaking but fierce, she met both T.I. and Tiny's eyes before her voice cracked. "I never wanted to hurt Tiny. She was my sister. But I promised me everything. He said he'd leave her. He said I was the one." Her confession hit the room like thunder. Tears streamed down her face as the gallery leaned forward, hanging on every word. Outside the courthouse, protesters screamed, "Stand with Tiny!" While inside, a few fans hissed, "Liar!" under their breath. Shekinah tried to frame herself as another victim, but sympathy was running low. Then Tiny's lawyers dropped the final dagger. Screenshots of private DMs allegedly between Shekinah and T.I. Messages that burned like acid. "Cliff, I can't wait until she's out of the picture. It's finally going to be just us." The room went silent. Betrayal wasn't just proven. It was written in her own words. The courtroom exploded like a live wire. Reporters sprinted outside, phones in hand, as breaking headlines flooded every major outlet. The screenshots hit social media within minutes, freezing timelines mid-scroll. Suddenly, Shekinah wasn't just the other woman. She was painted as a co-conspirator, plotting behind Tiny's back to destroy her own best friend. Tiny couldn't hold it in anymore. Through uncontrollable sobs, she turned to the judge and cried out, "How much more do I have to see? How much more can a woman take? That moment shattered the internet. Fans called it one of the realest and rawest breakdowns ever caught on camera. But the hits just kept coming. Next up, a hotel employee took the stand, and the room went still. He testified that he personally witnessed T.I. and Shekinah checking in together multiple times. His words hit like a grenade. T.I. snapped, slamming his fist on the table and yelling, "They're lying! This is all lies! I'm being set up!" The judge instantly threatened contempt charges as cameras rolled, capturing every ounce of rage. That meltdown went viral overnight, captioned with lines like "Empire crumbles" and "Caught in the act." Outside, the chaos only grew louder. News vans packed the streets, helicopters buzzed overhead, and influencers live-streamed the drama to millions. Protesters chanted, "Ban the betrayers," while murals of Tiny showed her like a phoenix rising from ashes. Every tear, every whisper, every courtroom gasp turned into viral content. What started as a private heartbreak had become a full-blown global spectacle. Then, just when everyone thought it couldn't get worse, came the financial bombshell. An anonymous leak dropped bank records showing huge transfers from T.I.'s accounts to Shekinah's name, tens of thousands at a time, spread across 2 years. The message was clear. This wasn't just an affair. It looked like hush money. Gasps filled the courtroom as the numbers lit up on the projector. Tiny's jaw dropped, the jury froze, and Shekinah screamed out, collapsing under the weight of it all. Betrayal wasn't just emotional anymore. It had a price tag attached, and the whole world was watching it unfold live. It wasn't about money. I loved him. I thought he loved me back. Those words echoed through the courtroom as Shekinah broke down again, her tears flooding the floor. But not everyone bought it. Critics mocked it as the performance of a lifetime, while fans called it the final nail in her coffin. By now, Tiny had evolved far beyond the role of a betrayed wife. She'd become a symbol, a voice for every woman who'd ever been lied to, played or broken by someone they trusted. As she stepped out of that courthouse, pale but unshaken, she looked straight into the cameras and whispered, "This isn't just about me. This is about every woman who's ever been lied to, betrayed, and broken. I will fight until the truth is heard." Those words replayed on every major network, turning Tiny into a tragic heroine, the queen of survival in a world that watched her pain unfold. Meanwhile, T.I. sat stone-faced in court, watching the empire he built for decades crumble right before his eyes. Endorsements gone, concerts canceled, fans protesting outside his mansion, chanting his name in disgust, his once respected image now stained with betrayal. Shekinah, who once chased the spotlight, now drowned in shame. Her Instagram turned into a war zone of hate comments and memes clowning her downfall. Meanwhile, Tiny, though shattered, stood taller than ever, carried by millions who now saw her as the ultimate emblem of heartbreak and strength. What began as a leaked video had spiraled into a digital battlefield, filled with receipts, recordings, and emotional wreckage. The courtroom wasn't just a place of justice anymore. It had become the biggest live show in America. Each day pulled the curtain back further, revealing darker truths no one was ready for. By week 3, the trial didn't even feel real. It was like a modern-day Shakespearean tragedy happening in real time. The silence inside was thick as Tiny, hands trembling, stared across the room at the two people who destroyed her world. Her husband, T.I., and her former best friend, Shekinah. The betrayal wasn't rumor anymore. It was written, recorded, and confessed for the world to hear. When Shekinah finally took the microphone, her trembling voice sliced through the courtroom's heavy silence. "Clifford promised me love. He promised me freedom. He told me Tiny was holding him back." Gasps rippled through the gallery. Tiny collapsed into her lawyer's arms, sobbing, as the world outside literally stopped scrolling. This wasn't gossip anymore. It was heartbreak, weaponized and broadcast in real time to millions. Social media detonated again. Hashtags like TinyBroken and Exposed forever shot straight into the trending stratosphere. Fans posted reaction videos of themselves crying. Influencers went live reading diary entries, while memes of T.I. flooded every feed with captions like "Empire of Lies" and "Snake of the South." Shekinah's name turned toxic overnight. She was dragged as a homewrecker and clout chaser, with old videos of her resurfacing and getting shredded by angry viewers. The internet had clearly picked a side. Tiny was now their queen, broken but undefeated, humiliated, yet lifted up as the living embodiment of every betrayed woman's pain. And just when the tension couldn't go any higher, Tiny's legal team unleashed a second bombshell, a private voicemail from T.I. to Shekinah. His voice, low and desperate, confessed, "I can't let Tiny know. If this gets out, it's over for me. But you're the only one who understands me." The courtroom froze. Reporters fumbled over each other to blast the audio online. Tiny let out a scream so sharp, so raw, it silenced the entire building. "You ruined my family! You lied to my children." Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. TV loops, social media posts, breaking news alerts, cementing this scandal as one of the most devastating betrayals in hip-hop history. Outside, Atlanta felt like it was on fire. Protesters jammed the streets, chanting for justice, waving massive posters that read, "Justice for Tiny" and "Cancel T.I. Forever." What started as a leaked video had now erupted into a cultural earthquake that no one could look away from. Outside the courthouse, chaos reigned like a movie premiere gone wrong. Protesters mocked Shekinah with cardboard cutouts and savage chants, crowning her the internet's villain of the year. The courthouse steps turned into a media battlefield, news anchors, podcasters, YouTubers, everyone fighting for their spotlight, breaking down every tear, every scream, every twist in real time. Helicopters circled above as news vans lined the block, and fans live-streamed the madness like they were watching the fall of a king. Inside, though, the tone shifted from frenzy to heartbreak when Tiny took the stand. Her voice trembled as she said, "I gave him my youth, my loyalty, my heart, and he traded it all for lies with my so-called best friend." Her words sliced through the courtroom, cutting deeper than any headline ever could. T.I. tried to fire back, claiming he was manipulated, lured, and trapped. But the jury's cold stares said it all. They weren't buying a single word. Shekinah jumped in again, crying out, "He loved me. Don't make me the villain when all I did was believe his lies." But sympathy was gone. The world had already made up its mind. To everyone watching, she wasn't a victim. She was the betrayer who broke the ultimate bond. Then came the final dagger. Tiny's lawyers dropped fresh diary pages allegedly in Shekinah's handwriting. The words read like poison. "Clifford said we'd rule the industry together. Tiny is nothing compared to what we have." The room gasped, and Tiny collapsed again, clutching her chest, whispering through tears. "Why me?" Cameras caught every gut-wrenching second. Her heartbreak replayed across every network and timeline in the world. That wasn't entertainment anymore. It was tragedy, raw and unfiltered. By the time the judge called for adjournment, the emotional wreckage was irreversible. Tiny had to be carried out by her team, sobbing uncontrollably, while T.I. walked out with his head down, ignoring reporters as boos thundered around him. The empire he built was gone. The respect he once commanded, shattered. And as flashbulbs lit up the night, one truth remained painfully clear. What started as a secret had ended as a public downfall, played out for the whole world to witness. Shekinah tried to push her way through a storm of boos and insults, her once bold attitude completely drowned in humiliation. Every camera followed her as she stumbled past flashing lights, her face now the poster for public shame. Online, timelines were flooded with reactions. Clips of Tiny's breakdown racking up millions of views, fans openly weeping with her, influencers sharing their own stories of betrayal, and endless debates over whether T.I.'s career could ever bounce back. The fallout was vicious. Radio hosts argued live on air about pulling his songs. Hashtags like #CancelT, I dominated social feeds, and major brands quietly backed out one after another. Endorsements gone, tours scrapped. His empire, once untouchable, was collapsing piece by piece, right in front of the world's eyes. Meanwhile, Shekinah's name became pure scandal fuel. Old clips from her reality show resurfaced, chopped into viral memes mocking her downfall. The same fame she chased now haunted her with every post and every comment. And Tiny, though visibly shattered, moved through the wreckage like a woman reborn. The public crowned her the queen of heartbreak, a survivor rising from the ashes of betrayal. Fans around the world saw her not as a victim anymore, but as a living symbol of strength. Then came the image that broke everyone. A fan's shaky phone video showing Tiny holding her daughter's hand, whispering softly through tears, "This is why I fought to protect you. To show you that no woman deserves this." Those were Tiny's final words caught on camera, and within minutes, the clip went viral, captioned, "A queen, broken but never defeated." It became more than a moment. It was a symbol of betrayal, heartbreak, and raw feminine strength in the face of chaos. The image of Tiny standing tall while her world burned became the lasting picture of resilience the world couldn't stop talking about. But as the dust finally settled, the questions only grew louder. Will Tiny ever truly heal from this heartbreak? Can T.I. recover from the wreckage of his empire? Or has his legacy been permanently stained by the betrayal? And what about Shekinah? Has she sealed her fate as one of hip-hop's most hated figures? This wasn't just another celebrity scandal. This was betrayal on the biggest stage imaginable. A love story shattered, a sisterhood turned to war, and innocent kids left to bear scars from choices they never made. The courtroom may have closed, but the echoes of their pain still ring through every comment section, every timeline, every headline. We call it gossip, but this wasn't entertainment. This was tragedy in real time. A family torn apart under the brightest spotlight the world could offer, with millions watching a queen cry for justice. History won't remember this as tea. It'll remember it as the night an empire fell apart in front of our eyes. So now it's your turn. Do you stand with Tiny? Do you believe, T, I can ever rebuild what's left? Or did Shekinah destroy the last piece of trust that family had? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and tap the new hype feature to show love for the story. See you on the next one.